Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy290 here, and welcome back to a brand new F1 2017 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back here for the Monaco Grand Prix. If you guys do enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel as well, that would be absolutely awesome as well. And the support on these videos has been absolutely incredible as per usual. But as you can see then, we're having a look at the R&D tree, and of course we are here for the Monaco Grand Prix, the track that I've been dreading the most, quite frankly, because I absolutely hate this circuit, and I can't express how much I hate this track. But yeah, so for me, this is just going to be damage limitation / throwaway race. I don't really care what happens in this in this Monaco Grand Prix, because of course the next three races is Canada, Azerbaijan, and also Austria, which is going to come right back into my favour, and they're the tracks I'm focusing on. So if you're here for Monaco, I'm going to obviously give it everything I've got as per usual, but if things just don't work out, then they don't work out, and like I said, I hate this track, so I'm not too concerned. But anyway, as you can see, we're going to be switching to our first power unit for this Monaco Grand Prix for practice. And as you can see, there are the most interested teams, McLaren, Sauber, and Haas. I just thought I'd bring those up. But anyway, moving on then, we're into the track climatization test. And straight away from even this practice session, I knew this was going to be a very, very hard weekend. I even have damage, actually, on my front wing. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, the car was an absolute handful in practice. The car just wouldn't bite onto the circuit. Tyres weren't working. There was oversteer everywhere. And overall, it just wasn't nice to drive. I really, for the first time this season, I didn't like driving the Mercedes. I will be fully honest with that. I just didn't like driving it. It just didn't. I just felt like I was driving like dry tires on a wet track. That's literally how it felt as I completely cut that corner because I was getting angry at this point. But we're getting everything done though. So despite the fact that everything's not going to plan, we're still getting all the practice programs done, and we're getting lots of purple scores, which is brilliant because we need these resource points. As much as I don't really want to drive around the track, I need the resource points, so, because I've got a big plan in mind, because I want to bring, like, a massive package around, like, the Belgian Grand Prix time, to just make the Mercedes extremely overpowered for them, for, like, future seasons when I go to different teams. It'll make it that much harder, so I want to get a big package done for Belgium, but as you can see then, we're going to be getting ready for qualifying here, and as you can see then, into qualifying we go, into Antonino's corner, we take that horribly wrong, huge understeer, sorry, in the last corner, but we actually managed to finish 2/10 behind Sebastian Vettel, set the fastest final sector, surprisingly, despite the fact the last corner didn't go well for me. 2/10 off the pace in qualifying. Surprisingly, a big change between practice and qualifying. In practice, the car was the worst it's ever been, ever. In qualifying, still didn't feel 100% comfortable, but I was competitive, and that's what I decided to take on board, is that I didn't feel very comfortable, but the car was still up there. I mean, I was only 2/10 off the pace, and I didn't feel that good. But coming across now the line to complete our next lap, it's a 1:11.3, which eventually puts us into second place, a 10th behind Hamilton. So like I said, the car wasn't feeling good, but the fact that they were still high up there on the grid is very, very positive, and hopefully, if only that was the actual grid, but of course it's not. But into Q3 we go now, and the qualifying session has ended. We're down in P7 after an absolutely horrendous first lap here, but across the line for, I believe it was P3 in qualifying. So, unfortunately, we did not meet the team's objectives, which is a massive shame, but yeah, we finished 2/10 off the pace. My teammate Lewis Hamilton grabs pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix, so a very, very good result indeed for Mercedes-Benz, and I was only 2.5 tenths off the pace, which, like I said, it's not that bad. I mean, if I finished in third place in this race, I'd be more than happy with that. So, yeah, really, really positive result there, and we can definitely take that moving forward. Hopefully, maybe we could take the fight to Vettel and sort of be the rear gunner then for Lewis Hamilton to try and win this race. But we're not 100% sure yet. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to eventually get our resource points. And then we're going to be getting our team objectives. And then we're going to be getting into the race. But yeah, I just felt like the car isn't doing very well. So yeah, we're going to have to be very, very alert on the street circuit in this race. But as you can see, unfortunately, we lose that in the team approval and also in the reputation level because we didn't beat our objectives. And heading into the race, we need to finish in the top 2 and beat Lewis Hamilton. Let's get into the race.
Almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have a Mercedes, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Massa, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Kvyat, and Max Verstappen, Grosjean, Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Alonso, Magnussen, Palmer, Lance Stroll, and Stoffel van Dorn. Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see, we're on the grid here for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, and oh, lovely. So it looks like we're going to be having rain at the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. Do you know what? I'm absolutely ecstatic about that. I'm so excited that not only does my car handle like an absolute dog on this racetrack, but partnering it up with rain, yeah, sure, that's going to probably make me crash out. But anyway, on the formation lap then, we get through that, but onto the grid here now. We've got 5 red lights here for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it is lights out. There we go here for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been a good start from us. Hamilton blocks us off. Sebastian gets a great start, and Vettel leads into turn 1. Sebastian leads, Hamilton second, myself in third, Raikkonen in fourth. Unfortunately, it was not the start I wanted. I got a good start on Lewis Hamilton, but he sort of covered me off very, very well, and Vettel managed to just fly on through. And that's a great start there as we lose the back end on the exit Casino Square coming into Mirabeau now. No way through on Lewis Hamilton. Now we need to be patient in this Grand Prix as I again have a little look here. And feeling a little bit feisty at the start of this race. I want to try and make up as many positions as I can. Try and potentially get into the lead and control the race. Because if I'm following someone, I might be pushing too hard than necessary, whereas if I'm in the lead, I can control the race. But for now, we just need to keep focusing. On to the end of the first lap now. Vettel's going to come across the line and set a 17.8 fastest lap, and we are about 2 seconds behind Sebastian in this early phase of the race, with Hamilton in second, but the top 3 all doing very well. We've got yellow flags there on the mini-map as Vettel sets the fast lap of the race, but on lap 3 here, we're going to go down the inside of Lewis Hamilton into Saint-Denis, and we make the move stick on Lewis, my teammate. Raikkonen has a little look on Hamilton, but he's got him covered off, and now we can eventually now start trying to chase down Sebastian Vettel as we clip the wall there into Massenet and into Casino Square. Now we go, and it's now up to me to see if I've actually got the pace. I was all over the back of Lewis Hamilton. Now I need to show that I have got the pace and that I can close it to Vettel. The gap is 2.3 seconds now, and we need to try and see where we're faster than Vettel and where we're not. On to lap 4 of the Grand Prix, coming up to start lap 5, you can see the gap is visibly smaller than the 2.3 seconds, and it's the fastest lap, and the gap is 1.1 seconds. So in the racing, it seems like the car is working well. And to lap 6 of the Grand Prix now, we are all over Vettel here. I tried to have a look around the down the inside of Raskas, but he covered it off, so I had to look around the outside. But unfortunately, into Anthony Node's corner, again, the car, even though I am going very quickly in this race, the car is just not working with me, and I need to try and sort myself out as I completely bottle Saint-Denis like an absolute champion there. Onto the end of lap 7 now, onto the start of lap 8 here. We're opening up the DRS, and now we might try and see if we can attack Vettel on this lap here as we set a decent lap in towards Saint-Denis. Once again, I just don't quite have the pace here as I lose the back end there on the exit of Saint-Denis, and like I'm saying, I just can't get the car to work. But onto lap 13, we've got a great chance here now in towards Saint-Denis yet again. This time though, Vettel covers the inside line and I can't make the diving move, and the rain is now falling here on lap 14, and I'm getting more and more frustrated behind Sebastian because I'm actually faster than him. I just need to get in front of him and control the pace, but the more I'm pushing, the more it's affecting me. But finally, Vettel actually pits on this lap, and with the rain falling quite heavily, he might actually go into a set of inters in this Grand Prix, but he doesn't. He actually goes onto a set of super soft tyres, whereas I'm going to stick it out and wait and see when this rain falls and try and take that into perspective. But the tyres are going off horribly, and onto lap 16, there's water coming off the tyres. I'm struggling like mad. I'm going to box this lap, and I'm going to fit on a set of intermediate tyres. It's a huge gamble. The DRS is still enabled, but I can't go out any longer on the ultra soft tyres. They were just completely out of their range at this point, and I had to get rid of them. Vettel is going to jump me in the pits, and he is going to pull away by a good 3 or 4 seconds because of the big undercut, and my tyre's just not working for me now. As we come out of the pits here, Vettel is very, very far in front. Raikkonen is a little bit further back behind. But unfortunately, this was not the right call. This was the wrong call. I couldn't stay on the Ultras, and as you can see there, Raikkonen overtakes me. He gets past me, and in towards the chicane we go. And then later on, just up the road, as I bottle that chicane, we're going to go later on up the road, in towards Tabac, and I turned in too early into the corner. That's race over. I don't know. The intermediates were the wrong call, and I tried to push after Kimi. And eventually, you can see it here. I just turned in. The problem is it was like doing wet tires on a dry track. The car would understeer, so I had to turn in earlier. And of course, it's unforgiving around Monaco, and that's it. Unfortunately, that is race over as someone there smacks into my car on the exit to back. But yeah, I knew this was going to be a bad race. I didn't think I'd actually DNF. I thought I'd maybe finish in the top 5. But yeah, that is a massive blow for the championship, definitely. Overall, yeah, the car was awful. I've said it all video long. The car really didn't work. I ran the same setup as this is what shocks me the most, is the Force India was better at this track than the Mercedes. Hands down, it was so much better. It was easy to drive. I could go flat out. With the Mercedes, there's something different about it. I've got the best chassis on the grid, the best aerodynamics on the grid, and the best power on the grid. And all in all, the best car on the grid. But for some reason, this Merc, it just didn't work for me. It's got to be something I've done with the setup. Something I did in the setup just didn't work for me. And it cost me dearly. And again, I tried to gamble, get those inters on. I could have gone round maybe a lap or two longer, but the Ultra Softs were way past their best. They were like on 68% when I came in. I had to stop, and I didn't want to stop on another set of drives. I wanted to try and gain that advantage, but in the end then, Sebastian Vettel wins the Monaco Grand Prix by a big, comfortable margin. Carlos Sainz actually DNFs alongside me there. So Vettel wins the race ahead of Kimi Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton, half a minute behind. In the driver's standings, the gap has come right down now to just 16 points. So with that DNF, it has blown the championship wide open again after I was a good 40-odd points clear, which is depressing. And then in the constructor standings again, 13 points separating me and Ferrari. And it's not gone well. But yeah, that's motor racing. You know, you're never going to win everything. You going to have to take risks like that. I took a risk, took a gamble, wasn't really working, and eventually I turned in way too early into Tabac because there was understeer throughout the entire lap already that I'd already bounced off the wall 1 or 2 times. So then I decided, right, I'm going to have to start turning it a little bit earlier and wait for the track to come my way, and it just went straight into the wall. But that's it, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and you can see the reputation just taking an absolute shambles. But yeah, next time we've got Canada, Baku, and Austria, and that's where I'm going to look to fight back, are the 3 tracks that I know I'm strong at, and I know I can get a hat-trick of wins. So until then, guys, take care all. Peace.